morning, and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. It is Monday, September 30th. Our top stories for the day. Pat is going to give us a little impeachment inquiry update.
We got Ukraine Gate. We got impeachment inquiries. We got Rudy Giuliani. We got it all. It's packed.
Nice. A lot more of that to come. Today, tomorrow after tomorrow. Lots of that. So, yeah. All right, and then Mark West and I will take us through a news buffet of other headlines. Take it away, Pat.
All right, gentlemen. As Will said, let's kick it off with the Ukraine Gate / impeachment inquiry update. So, first up, Joe Biden's campaign has asked news executives to stop booking the president's personal attorney and former mayor of America, Rudolph Giuliani, to guest on news programs. Why?
They've asked him to stop talking about anything.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So like he's
except his aviators.
but his ratings gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's funny because
or his tan.
I was watching some Fox News, and they were like, yeah, he's crazy. He's great for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he'll just talk for 15 minutes and spill the guts.
Biden's campaign has asked if everyone can go to sleep for 11 months.
Yeah, but essentially, the why is, well, it's because Rudolph Giuliani is batshit crazy and is the worst attorney in America, makes everything worse for his client, President Trump. The Biden campaign, apparently, and really just everyone.
Yeah, well, he makes it worse for the Biden campaign because he's digging up shit about Joe and Hunter in Ukraine.
Can we get Giuliani on the show?
We probably can, judging by some things we learned this weekend. We probably can.
Yeah, I think we can too.
From what I hear, he's ripe to talk. So the quote from the letter that the Biden campaign sent over said, quote, "You continue to book Rudy Giuliani on air to spread falsities, debunked conspiracy theories on behalf of President Donald Trump. Well, you often fact-checked his statements in real time during your discussions. That's no longer enough." And then the letter went on to describe Giuliani's statements to be increasingly unhinged. Giuliani came out on Sunday night saying that his part in digging up information on Joe Biden's potential involvement in ushering out a Ukrainian investigator that may have been close to kicking up some dirt on his son, Hunter Biden, was actually at the request of the U.S. State Department. So either that's true or Giuliani.
Hillary Clinton asked him to do it?
No, this is, Hillary was out
the current
of State
state.
Department.
Rex Tillerson.
Rex Tillerson, I guess. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows if it's true? It's probably not. But it might be true, but it probably isn't. And Giuliani's kids should probably just adjust
Who's
his
the current Secretary of State? Pompeo?
Mike Pompeo.
Oh, okay.
Busy Pompeo, we call him.
That would make more sense than Tillerson.
Yes. It was Pompeo, from what I know. But then Pompeo's denying having conversations.
But Rex had a hell of a flash in the pan there.
Well, great name.
Yeah.
When you name your kid Rex, you
was he this CEO of Exxon?
You're expecting he's going to get some sex.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Moving away from the worst lawyer since the prosecution team in the O.J. Simpson trial, Donald Trump said, quote, on Twitter on Sunday, quote, "Like every American, I deserve to meet my accuser," and he's specifically referencing the whistleblower, right? I don't think
that's what the priests say.
Yeah, that's what the priests say. I don't think Trump knows that
they run.
That the right he's describing is in the Sixth Amendment and is in specific reference to the procedure during criminal proceedings where you can confront your accuser.
Trial by jury,
we're not there yet.
We're not there
we're
yet.
Not a criminal
and Trump doesn't want to get there. So
no.
Maybe he should check his tweets before he sends them. In other news, House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff said Sunday that the whistleblower has agreed to testify in front of a congressional committee.
But he said he'd only do it wearing the masked magician's outfit and that voice modulator.
It's definitely gonna be like a mafia trial from the 70s where there's like the obscured panes in front of him.
Right.
So
Is it really? Is that how they're doing it? Like
I don't know.
I hope so. I'm very
cameras
interested.
allowed.
Well,
I'm very interested.
Well, Schiff specifically said congressional committee, so maybe he said that because it's not going to be just straight like a congressional, to Congress.
TMZ's
right.
going to get it.
Closed door.
Exactly. But guys, this is the most not news of the day because the whistleblower based his complaint on information received from other people, which he clearly outlined in his fucking letter.
Good point. Right.
Yeah, he said
secondhand. Yeah.
Maybe we spend some time to, I don't know, interview the primary sources. The whistleblower put it all in the letter saying, I heard. He's the messenger. Why don't we not waste a bunch of fucking time and money and just get the primary sources in there? Just a thought.
Yeah, if you ever hang out with people that you're not there and there's an event that happened and you interview 3 of your friends and ask them what happened, secondhand sources the day after even, not great.
Like when Will got jumped by those people outside of that wedding,
yeah, maybe
I heard all sorts of stories.
Interview the first-hand sources. They don't call it telephone for nothing. You know what I mean?
Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi was in our hometown of Austin, Texas this weekend, and in between traveling and not responding to our interview requests, she found time to give a talk where she described a recent phone call with President Trump. In the phone call, she said that Trump described the conversation with Ukrainian President Monica Zelensky as perfect. Perfect
phone call. Perfect phone call.
Pelosi went on to describe the phone call as a cover-up of a cover-up. I don't know.
What the hell does that mean?
What I do like to hear is the phone call happened recently, and Trump was calling Pelosi to discuss her bill to get better background checks for handguns. So at least the president's still working, and they're still talking,
which is important.
Which is important. Yes. And then finally, guys, a British market research company called YouGov conducted a poll over the weekend related to whether Americans think that the impeachment probe is necessary. Now, 55% of Americans think the probe is necessary, with 45% feeling the opposite way.
That doesn't bode well for people wanting impeachment. If 55% just think it's necessary to investigate, that doesn't mean a lot of people want him removed from office. That would mean like 100% of them need very good evidence.
Yeah,
like,
but
that's
Robert De Niro is tired of all this bullshit, so that means this is definitely going to be the one.
That's true. He has a big political sway these days.
I do want to point out, guys, that this poll was of 2,059 Americans. So pretty much total garbage, in my opinion. Not a very large sample size.
Large high school.
It took place over 2 days. The company that did it, YouGov, I looked it up. They're a British company that had revenue of $116 million in 2016. So what the fuck are you doing, you lazy-ass YouGov? 2,000 people? Come on.
Yeah, we had 2,000 people that we sent stickers to last week.
We could do better than that, YouGov.
Yeah, but I think that's actually pretty normal for polling sizes.
Yeah,
because polls are
lazy. You're probably right.
Right, because polls are lazy.
But they're lazy. Yeah. So I guess I'm just pissed that it's news because it's such a small sample size. All right, let's take it to the internet, guys. Democracy Rules says there's no such thing as the Democratic Party. They're just ordinary garden variety tyrants, as Aristotle described in 350 BC. They grab all the power and money and subjugate the citizenry to prevent insurrection. Example equals Detroit.
Oh, I want to know, why haven't we learned anything since 350 BC?
I don't know.
Can we get on it, people?
I know. I thought that.
Because they flip-flopped. The Democratic Party used to be the Republican Party.
Back in 350 BC, you're right.
Well, no, back much
in
sooner than that.
In ancient Greece, it's well known that Democrats and Republicans were reversed.
They had the bath houses, and they were doing little kids, and it was awful. And then the gladiator fights, and come on, people.
Culturally acceptable.
Yeah.
I think we just merged Greece and Rome there.
Sure.
All right, John
Same thing.
John Magnum says, we will find out who the traitor is. No doubt a card-carrying Dem shit. All o dumb shits. I like how I mixed it up there.
Yeah.
All o dumb shit holdovers need to be escorted out of their offices and clearances revoked. CAG 2020.
All right.
And then Andrea Ott Wimberly says the, quote, whistleblower should be charged with slander. And Andrea doesn't know the difference between slander and libel.
Well, no, I think you're jumping the gun here, Pat. Andrea knows the whistleblower is going to speak in front of people.
Oh,
so
okay.
She's preemptively saying the whistleblower.
Let's give the internet commenters the benefit of the doubt, Mark.
Exactly.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Seems like the right-sided internet commenters are fired up.
There.
Let's take it over to the lightning round. Okay, first up, just 1 week after the official end of summer, a snowstorm began blasting parts of western North America with up to 3 to 4 feet of snow in some mountain areas, smashing pretty much all the September low temperature and snowfall records in Montana and eastern Washington. The storms, which will continue into Monday, had snow piling up across parts of California, Oregon, Washington, Montana, Idaho, Nevada, and Utah. I peeked my head out today for a little run to the dispensary, and the mountains around Reno, Mount Rose, are completely snow-capped. Real nice weather.
Are you
really
done?
Cold.
Are you done?
Had a nice fire last night.
Are you done?
Did you run to the dispensary?
Are you done?
As in my car.
Oh, okay.
Dispensary run in my car.
Having a little bit of a different experience over here in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, what's the
days.
garage like, fellas?
Well, right now it's 86, 85, 86. It was 97 again today. A couple days
It's
ago.
at 9:30 p.m., huh?
Friday, was it Thursday or Friday afternoon? A couple days ago, Wes and I went to go hit a few golf balls at the range, and it was 99 degrees, felt like 101 according to the Weather Channel, and we couldn't get through. I couldn't get through a jumbo packet of balls. I thought I was going to die on the range.
It's anxiety attack
There are
inducing.
flu-like temperatures happening in the garage right now.
Yeah, it's
hot enough.
absurd.
Yeah, hot enough to make you physically and mentally ill.
Yep.
Yeah.
All next week, highs of 97.
It's like we're hooked up to a lie detector in here permanently. That's what it's
But
like.
I'm glad the Northwest is bragging about all the fucking snow. That's all I can read
Yeah,
about.
it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. I mean, the Weather Service is calling this storm historic for this time of the year. They said the temperatures in some areas would drop as much as 30 degrees below normal. A welcome, break from the hot summer that
Yeah,
everybody's
I
had.
bet it is.
It's been fantastic, actually. The town of Browning, Montana, near Glacier National Park, recorded 40 inches of snow on Sunday alone, causing
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a lot of snow, between 3 and 4 feet, causing the governor who's still running for president, who I'm sure everybody's forgotten, Steve Bullock, to declare a winter storm emergency in September.
He should declare that he's resigning from the race.
You wonder why? Yeah.
Should have done both. He should have done a twofer there because he's in the news. So he should have taken this opportunity to say, you know what? Also going to retract that running for president thing. But
Yeah,
he
it's a good
didn't.
excuse.
This story is making it pretty clear to me why 72-year-old guys are shooting people in their backyards in Texas and going back to sleep.
It's just too hot.
Yeah, it's too fucking hot. You want to rob me? I'm just going to shoot you in the neck and deal with it tomorrow.
It's late September and it's still over 90. You're dead.
Yeah.
All right, that's that on the winter storm.
Jesus Christ. Lucky bastards.
Are you going to do the no ad read? Okay, it's still in there. Sorry. Well, Hong Kong protests are still going strong and have entered their 17th week and are just becoming more and more violent as Hong Kongers Sunday participated in not only their normal anti-Chinese control protests, wanting investigations into Hong Kong police brutality and also free democratic elections, but they added to their emotions by joining in on the staged anti-totalitarianism rallies that other cities participated in around the globe. Add that to the fact that Tuesday marks the 70th anniversary of the People's Republic of China, called China's National Day, and you have a recipe for some blue water cannons, umbrella shields, bricks being pulled up from the streets to hurl at riot police, and Molotov cocktails. And that's pretty much what's happening and is likely to continue to happen.
Just
You know what?
regular day in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
You know what's a day I don't want to be in China? China's National Day. That sounds like a scary
That's
ass
also
day.
a day you don't want to be in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
No.
I don't want to be anywhere in Asia during China's National Day.
I think it'd be a hell of a party.
Unless you're very,
Yeah, it
very
would be fun.
pro-Chinese. Unless you're a Chinese citizen that's pro-China.
They're-
Yeah,
I
imagine
guarantee-
Chinese New Year. You take like a bunch of shrooms and shit and like
Yeah.
watch all the like dragons running through the
It
streets.
sounds fun
That
to
would
me.
be cool.
That'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So protesters are now bringing the change of clothing so they can't be identified.
Right, because the clothes won't be covered in blue. It's just their hands
Yeah.
and faces.
Yeah, so just
because they
different colored
blast
shirts.
them with
Yeah.
blue water so they can identify them
To
later.
stain them.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the dye hose is a hilarious tool
Yeah.
for suppressing protesters.
It's like a hose of scarlet letters.
Bunch of little
Yes.
Smurfs running around.
All right, guys. So this Saturday was the debut of Saturday Night Live's 45th season. Did you guys watch it?
Didn't watch it.
Anyone?
I watched the
No.
the town hall skit. What I thought that was pretty fun.
Gotcha.
I like the Beto joke that they said, and Beto O'Rourke, who seems to have overestimated the country's excitement for him.
Yeah. He took the enthusiasm to heart, and now he sucks.
I was digging.
Right.
I was digging through the right wing
They got him.
publications for my store today, and they are Beto fucked up with the. Damn right, I'm going to take your AR-15.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
It's everywhere.
But I watched it for you guys, so no big deal. And I noticed a bit of a different tone for the most part with the season debut, kind of like what Wes was hinting at. Between the cold opening, the host Woody Harrelson's monologue in the beginning, and the first sketch with the Democratic candidates, they actually decided to make fun of PC culture a bit. And it reminded me of kind of like our show here at Hard Factor a lot, where they just made fun of everyone and everything in the name of comedy as opposed to having an agenda, which was good to see. I'm thinking in the offseason and fresh off firing Shane Gillis before his first show for racist comments, maybe they decided this year to not be baby shit soft and only left leaning. At least I can hope so for another week. They were dropping jokes like Wes mentioned. They also called Tekashi 6ix9ine Teriyaki 6ix9ine, and they called Kanye West Don King and someone else the Black Wackadoo. So they were showing Shane Gillis how to do tasteful racist jokes.
Yeah.
Right. So overall, the show was okay. It was not the funniest at all. I'm thinking they're a bit rusty at being funny. Maybe this new old school approach will pay off for them. One can only hope because let's face it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it was funnier too. I mean, I wish when we were growing up, Saturday Night Live was appointment TV. And,
It was, yes.
You know, like
And
nowadays,
when
like,
our parents were growing up the same, it was appointment TV.
right.
I think it still is, but
Yeah.
but we're too old for it. Like that's what all the SNL.
I don't know about that.
cast
I don't
members
think it
would
is
say.
anymore.
I think the tone was getting back towards being funny, like I said. And let's face it, like we just mentioned, it's been a long time since the glory days of SNL, but it is, in my opinion, the best comedic show of all time and has helped launch some of the biggest names in the world. For example, From Eddie Murphy to Bill Murray to Chevy Chase, Tina Fey, Dan Aykroyd, Steve Martin, Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, Conan O'Brien, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Robert Downey Jr., Will Ferrell, Jimmy Fallon, Billy Crystal, Ben Stiller, Sarah Silverman, Tracy Morgan, John Belushi, and Mike Myers are just a few of the people they've launched. Couldn't get through all of them. Did you hear those?
None of those were on the show in the last 15 years, though.
No, Larry David was on this weekend, though, and he was hilarious.
Sure, as a guest.
Right, the guests were the funniest part of this past show. Speaking of huge SNL stars, Pete Davidson missed the season premiere this weekend to film Suicide Squad. Pete Davidson missed SNL to film the movie Suicide Squad 2, where he will likely play, I guess it's a reboot, so Suicide Squad 1.1.
Didn't the first one tank terribly?
It was awful. It was just the worst. He's likely going to play the role of annoying dipshit.
Immediate remake?
Yes, for some reason, James Gunn, the Guardians of the Galaxy director and ex-public pedophile joke enthusiast, decided to reboot the Suicide Squad 3 years after that shithole Suicide Squad movie, and he decided to also cast Pete Davidson.
So he can do it with Pete Davidson, even though the last guy couldn't do it with Will Smith.
Yeah, correct.
That makes a lot of sense.
Good news, though. Will Smith's not coming back, but good news for Pete Davidson is Margot Robbie is returning for the reboot, so he's probably been sleeping with her for some unknown reason. Pete Davidson has got to frustrate the incels. Am I right? Like, incels are on the surface. They're like, this guy, based on his looks and from the jokes about living with his mom and being a loser, he's a successful comedian. He's one of us. He's our poster boy. And then all of a sudden, he butt fucks Famous Elevens on the regs. That kind of probably fucks them up.
Yeah, he probably did that movie for no money.
Yeah, he's just literally has sex with the hottest women on earth,
Just
and then complains about life.
Margot, I hope that his depression isn't transmittable venereally.
Yeah, that depressed dick better not spread that depression in those beautiful ladies.
Well, actually, you'd want that because then that makes them more attainable to us.
I don't know. I think they're attainable to anyone if Pete Davidson can get them.
That's possible.
Yeah, it's a certain type of woman that's into Pete, I think.
Wait, but Mark, did you say that James Gunn's going back to Guardians of the Galaxy?
He's doing Guardians of the Galaxy 3 after Suicide
So it makes
Squad.
sense that he goes to DC after he gets ousted for bullshit.
Well, he's probably going to lay a stinker on DC and then come back and lay a
he's gonna
money
tank
maker
it?
on Guardians of the
He's
Galaxy
gonna
3.
tank it?
Yeah, well, he's got Pete Davidson playing a main character. Yeah, he's going to tank it. All right, that's it.
All right, from the silver screen, let's take it to some Mars, baby. And by the way, those shirts are still available at the Barstool store, and they look great.
Nice.
So first up about Mars, Elon finished bolting together his SpaceX Starship, the chassis of that Starship in Boca Chica, Texas, over the weekend. And now it actually looks pretty fucking cool. It's got the wings on the head, the wings on the top, the wings on the bottom. It looks really, really nice. It's just like this big chrome Starship.
It's the fins and the legs, Will, if you would like to get the terminology correct.
Oh,
Well,
sorry, the fins.
Well, do you think that maybe he should have waited until the Starship was a little bit further along?
Before bashing what his engineers design
Yeah.
publicly.
Yeah. He's made some mistakes in his publications, but to be fair, what
Look
he
at this
did,
piece of shit these assholes are building.
My top engineers say it's better,
Right.
but it looks like a fucking piece
We're
of shit.
half done, Elon.
Yeah.
he never self edits his tweets or whatever he says in interviews. So he just did the classic Elon where he's just taking pictures the whole time, even if it didn't look good, and then also just saying his unfiltered opinion. So he was wrong a few times along.
He writes in flow of consciousness, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like something like a kid in the 1940s would get as a Christmas present as a spaceship, basically.
Yeah,
It does.
it looks like
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg designed it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it looks like it's probably all practical because
Yeah, it'll get you
chrome.
there.
Right.
Exactly. It'll get you. It'll
It
get
can
you.
get you to Mars. Good news for anybody who does want to travel to Mars one day. It's only going to cost Elon about $3 billion to produce each Starship, which is much shorter of the $10 billion per ship estimate that he had previously given, up to $10 billion. So great news for anybody who wants to one day die on the Mars colony.
Yeah,
and
it's
may be
probably
able to afford it.
that probably means like a $50,000 ticket then. Yeah.
Yeah. Always good to be under budget on something taking you to space, you know?
Cut some corners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also related to Mars, NASA's Dr. Jim Green expects that Europe or the USA will find evidence of life on Mars once samples are able to be brought back. Drilling samples, samples from the surface, all this stuff. They're going to be able to start transporting those samples back to Earth from Mars in 2020 or 2021 at the latest. Dr. Green says, yeah, we're probably definitely going to find life in these samples. And he says that humans are absolutely not ready to have extra planetary life here to fuck with.
I've been saying this since day one of Hard Factor. Yes, there's some shit on Mars that's probably deadly that will fucking kill us, even inside our human terrarium. And maybe don't bring it back to Earth either.
Mm-mm.
Like I don't know, what?
But he's not even saying the killing part. He's just saying that our minds aren't even ready to understand what it's going to unlock. Like
Yeah.
being
Well,
able to
let me
study-
be the judge of that, Jim Green. Let my mind.
No, leave it on Mars.
Right, he's with Mark. He's saying like it's so unknown and so crazy, so
I did. Yeah.
volatile that you just should leave it alone. He's excited, but also nervous.
I don't think he's excited. I think he's fucking bitter that he's working for lame ass NASA and not Elon Musk's SpaceX company, where he'd actually get to Mars. I think he's out there.
but they work together. NASA and SpaceX are hand in hand. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like H.P. Lovecraft. Like the scariest things are the things that are unknown, and then when you know them, you go insane.
Well, imagine what if you could, like, what if they find something in this Martian life and you could like get it injected into you, and all of a sudden you're like a superhuman, but then you become
part Martian,
right? Yeah. So think about that.
Yeah, I will, and I will do it.
Okay,
Bring it down here.
Let's move on. This is disturbing.
All right, moving on. Listen, I'm going to be honest. Boris Johnson keeps saying he's going to get to Brexit done by October 31st, and I'm really not exactly sure how he thinks he's going to do that in light of all the losses he has suffered over the past few weeks. I mean, he lied to the Queen, for God's sakes. He's lucky to still have his head. But
He
now,
lied to me.
yeah,
No.
he lied to the Queen.
Didn't he have to apologize to her?
I don't know. If he did, it wasn't
As
sincere.
is tradition.
Please make the crown later.
But now, as Boris,
hurts.
as his Conservative Party meet at their conference in Manchester, he is still claiming there is no reason Brexit won't happen, holding on to his do-or-die stance, even though opposition members of Parliament passed a rule requiring him to ask for an extension if the deal is not done by October 19th. Even though he lost his bid to hold another general election, even though less than half of his own party now thinks he will get it done, down from 78% in August. And now a new report has come out that while he was mayor of London, he gave some hot American businesswoman thousands of dollars from an agency he controlled because they were fucking.
Oh, no.
While Boris was still married to his second wife, allegedly. The article also alleged that Boris would stroll over to the then 27-year-old woman's home on afternoon breaks, a home that was apparently outfitted with a stripper pole.
Yes.
And I don't think he just strolled over. I think he probably ran over, allegedly.
Yeah.
So all this is compounding.
He had some pep to his step.
Yeah, a little like a kid that just figured out how to masturbate.
Taking a long lunch.
And all this is compounding.
He floated over there.
Brexit by October 31st, not looking great. He had a zip line directly to her window.
Yeah, exactly. He should just get a couple new tattoos and join a band.
Yeah, I mean,
Time for a new
I'd go.
career.
I'd
Yeah.
buy a ticket.
Yeah. Well, also the chick. Did you see a picture of him and her?
No, is she
No.
hot?
Oh, this chick roasted him on Twitter. She said it looked like a shitty Halloween costume of Trump and Stormy. Like it does.
Oh.
Like it's like a JV version of Trump and Stormy.
The girl that's
Yeah, giant. She's got giant boobs.
she
wears, like,
herself
weird-
made fun of
weird-
herself and him. Nice.
Yeah, weird power suits.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. So Brexit not looking great. And if you go to predictit.org/promo/hard factor 20, you can bet on what is going to happen. The odds of Brexit happening dropped from 33 cents to 20 cents in the past week, but have climbed to 24 cents in the past 24 hours.
Oh wow.
So this is a long shot pick. I'm not going to tell you which way to go because unless Boris knows something all of us don't, unless he's about to drop the mic on the whole world, I think he's going to have to ask that for that extension, and Brexit will not happen. So the exact opposite of what I had said in the beginning. Right now, the no is trading for 78 cents, but 24 cents is not to be overlooked as a definite no. And again, any good news could bump that right back up, and you can take the money and run.
I'm kind of like a sadist when it comes to my friends, and I kind of hope that now Brexit hits yes, because you'll never recover.
I will.
From the mind fuck. You've been apologizing for weeks. You've been apologizing for weeks, and if it actually hits, you're gonna apologize for telling people to flip flop. You will never recover from that.
Yeah. You're right. I won't.
Yeah.
At least I'll be
you're
done
a bit
with
of a
covering
pickle.
Brexit.
But
Brexit, yes.
it'll make our friendship a lot more fun.
It will. Yeah. So remember, this is all totally legal in all 50 states. You get your money deposited in your account within days. No Bitcoin bullshit. Use your debit card all day.
Don't say that shit about Bitcoin, though.
Well, isn't it down a little bit, Pat?
I don't know.
I think it's down
God
a lot.
Damn it.
And get $20
Yeah, they're
on
on
us.
like Bitcoin 7.0 at this point.
Bitcoin's not
They've
doing well,
had
okay?
to rebrand it 7 times or whatever.
You guys, you don't need fucking Bitcoin. You just
you
need,
don't.
You just need American bank money going
right.
to predict it and making
That's right.
much more money.
That's right. No Bitcoin needed.
I understand.
So, like I said, like Mark said, use your debit card, whatever. Get $20 on us by going to predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20. predicted.org/promo/hardfactor20. Also, congrats if you got in on the Trump having over 180 tweets. If you put 850 down on that, which is the max bet, you are now rolling in the fucking dough.
Yeah.
So good.
Grands.
Yeah, grands. So
That's what we call, you just won grands.
and our apologies to whoever DM'd us on Instagram and Twitter and asked us what we thought of the Pence tweets. That bet is not looking so great.
Oh, we thought he meant Trump.
Yeah, we thought we said Trump.
Sorry.
180, not 80.
Sorry.
You guys know that I'm dyslexic. Sorry about that.
My bad.
Sorry. All right. Lastly, a 72-year-old Dallas man, James Michael Meyer, fatally shot a suspected burglar behind his home and then went back to sleep. Because Texas?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I don't know. Meyer told police he woke up at 5 a.m. to noise outside
The
his
shooting
home.
really took it out of him.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh. It was a very emotional shooting. He had to go back to sleep. Meyer told police he woke up at 5 a.m. to noise outside his home and saw someone trying to break into his storage shed with a pickaxe. So naturally, the Texan grabbed his handgun, went outside, and yelled at the robber to stop and not come any closer or he'd shoot. So far, so good. Meyer said what happened next was the man walked toward him, which is exactly what he'd said not to do. So he fired, and the burglar dropped his pickaxe and ran. Meyer allegedly then told police that he fired again into the night in the direction of the man and went back to bed satisfied that nothing was going to happen, no robbery, no harm, no foul.
And nobody called the cops.
Right. And then no one called the cops in that neighborhood.
Not even the neighbors.
They were like, thank God he shot at the robber. Everyone go back to sleep. When he woke up for the day, a few hours later around 7 a.m., he found he'd killed the man. His wife then called an attorney before Meyer called 911 to report that he was the victim of a crime and that medical help was needed for the robber he'd shot to death. Officers found the unidentified suspect in Meyer's backyard, face down on the ground with a gunshot wound to the back of his neck, like through his neck. So I guess the second shot into the night was a little more focused than
It
Meyer's.
was actually
first one.
him standing directly over the body and
Yeah.
shooting into the back of his
Don't
neck.
come any closer.
I think what he did is he waited till he sobered up a little bit. I think that's what he did.
Second shot wasn't into the night; it was into the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And after homicide detectives investigated, they thought similarly, Will, because they've now arrested him for murder. So
I'm telling you, buddy, get off
Yeah.
my shit or I'm going to shoot
Get
you.
down on your fucking knees.
I'm guessing his story of being 25 feet away and then the neck shot being from an inch away and down through the right probably didn't add up for the logistics of the
I
projectile.
just want to know what was in the shed. Something really important.
Yeah.
If it really was an assault on his shed, that's not a crime, in my opinion.
Well,
What's
yeah.
in the shed, though,
on his
Will?
property.
What's in the shed?
He's going to go through trial. I think he's allowed to stand his ground, but I think that based on the things, he's certainly lying about how it went down, and we'll see what happens. Anyways, before we say the end, Antonio Brown tweeted out, my English paper due tonight at 12 a.m. Need a proofreader. Make sure A's and B's. He spelled my paper due tonight D-O instead of D-U-E. And proofreader P-R-O-F instead of P-R-O-F. And that's going to do it for Hard Factor. Hopefully the start to everyone's week is going to go smoothly today. Oh, hey, if you got those Hard Factor stickers we sent out, don't forget to take pictures with them and send them to us. We'll retweet them and stuff, and they also make us happy. Also, if you want Hard Factor stickers, DM us on Twitter or Instagram or email us at hardfactormark@gmail.com. We have another shipment coming soon, and we will get them out to you. Make sure to follow Hard Factor on Facebook and YouTube for video content. And good news, if you missed out on the Soft Corner and Pop the Clutch t-shirts, guys, I'm talking to you. They're coming back for sale for a limited time only this week, and we will keep you updated on when those shirts are available. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and most importantly, have a great fucking day.